Howdy gang, Logan Samuel here and welcome back to my channel. This is the second video in my personal finance crash course. Today we'll be talking about the importance of and how to set financial goals. Now this video will be great for you if you are early on in your financial career, early on in your financial journey, and looking to understand how you should think about setting financial goals and what you should shoot for. If you're looking for the specific number that you need to save in order to be financially free and retire, or if you already have a plan, you already have a target, and you're just looking for motivation or ideas to enhance you on your journey. So as we get into it, I think the most important place for us to start is asking the question, why do we set financial goals? To help with that, I have the outcomes of two studies which highlight the importance and the impact that setting financial goals can have on your financial freedom journey and your success. The first study was one done by Dr. Gail Matthews from Dominican University. She took a group of roughly 150 people, men and women, ages 23 to 72, from all walks of life. She split them into two groups. One group who was told to make a set of goals and explicitly told to write those goals down, and another group that was told to make a set of goals and explicitly told not to write their goals down. After a bit of time, she surveyed the group again to see how successful they were in achieving their goals. And guess what she found? She found two things. The first of which is that the first group, the group that wrote their goals down, had a 42% higher chance of achieving their goals than the other group. The second thing was that if you like and subscribe to this channel, you have a 200% higher chance of achieving your goals. I'm just kidding about that one, but I would appreciate it a lot. And the second study I was referring to is actually a mix of reports coming from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, Mass Mutual, and the National Institute of Health. They found that those that pursue and set financial goals have increased financial satisfaction, they have reduced stress, and they have increased levels of confidence versus those that don't set financial goals. Great. So in summary, why do we pursue and set and write down and focus on financial goals? Well, two primary reasons. The first of which is the act of writing, setting down, and focusing on financial goals gives you a 42% higher chance of actually achieving those goals. And second, those that pursue financial goals end up being more satisfied financially, have higher levels of confidence, and less stress than those who don't. So moral of the story is set financial goals. Great. So now that we know why financial goal setting is important, let's dig into the step-by-step list on how to set and achieve financial goals. For me, this is a 3-step list. The first step is understand your priorities. So this is why are you pursuing financial freedom? What is motivating you? What's the lifestyle that you want? Is it to be less stressed? Is it to have more time with your family? Is it to be able to do the work that you want to do? For me, it's about confidence in having financial stability, as well as having the optionality and ability to do the type of work that I want to do. I think for me, it's less so about cars and fancy things. And I think it's really important to understand what are your true motivators. What's going to motivate you over the long term? This first step in understanding your priorities is critical, as it's going to be what's going to drive your follow through and help you actually achieve your financial goals. Now, step 2 is understand the amount of money that you will need to live that lifestyle. This step requires a good understanding of your living expenses and living out your priorities and living out your financially free lifestyle. So how much do you plan to spend on cars? How much do you plan to spend on housing? Do you want to put money away for your kids' college fund? How much do you want to travel, etc.? Having a good understanding of these types of costs is critical before moving on to the next step of setting your financial goals. And be strict here. Only include the amount that you will need to live out your priorities and live out that financially free lifestyle that you outlined earlier. For me, this number is roughly $45,000, but I plan to live in a high cost of living area, ideally would like to travel quite a bit, and I'm a bit of a diva when it comes to certain aspects of lifestyle. For you, this number could be very different. But remember, the smaller this number is, the quicker and earlier you'll be able to achieve your financial freedom and achieve your financial goals. Great. Now that we know what our living expenses will be, we can move on to step 3, which is how much money you should save in order to be financially free. Now, there are a few ways of doing this, but the most straightforward is likely the 4% rule. The 4% rule, considered the safe withdrawal rate, is a guideline used in retirement planning to determine a sustainable annual withdrawal rate from a retirement portfolio. The rule suggests that if you withdraw 4% of your initial retirement portfolio balance in the first year of retirement and adjust subsequent withdrawals for inflation, your money is likely to last for a 30-year retirement period. The 4% rule is based on historical market data and studies, particularly the Trinity study conducted by Professor William Bengen and subsequently expanded upon by other researchers. Great. So how does the 4% rule actually work? Well, let's run through an example. First, you start with your living expenses, your desired living expenses to live the lifestyle that you want. For now, let's say this is $30,000. Then you take 4%, the sustainable annual withdrawal rate, and you divide your living expenses by the sustainable annual withdrawal rate, so 30,000 by 4%, and that gives you the number 750,000. So this is the amount of money that you need to have saved up in order to live the lifestyle that you want, in order to be financially free. This is your new target number. Great, now you have your target number. But what does this actually mean on a monthly level? How much do you need to save on a monthly basis in order to be financially free? Well, this is a little bit of a trickier question, and it has a few more variables. But if you want to know, I would suggest looking at a compound interest calculator. You can find one online at investor.gov or MoneyChimp. And we can walk through an example here, or a little bit of the math here. So first, you'll need to know how much you think you can save each month. In this example, we'll use $2,500 per month. Then you'll need to know how much return you think you can get on that investment, or what's the interest rate on that investment. For now, let's assume 7%, which is the average historical return, inflation adjusted, of the stock market. Third, you'll have to play around with the time frame in order to get to your target number of 750,000. But I've already done the math a little bit, and at roughly 15 years, you'll get just over 750,000. So what does this mean? This means that if you save $2,500 a month, assuming the historic average stock return, you'd be able to retire financially free in 15 years. That's a far cry from the average or typical 65 to 70-year-old retirement plan. This is incredible. And if you want to learn more on how you boost your monthly savings, I'll plan to post more videos on that in the coming weeks, so you can continue to save more and more each month. Great. So we've run through the 3 steps. And before we close, or before we move on, I'll give you a few quick thoughts on how I've approached setting my own financial goals. So step 1, what are my priorities? What motivates me? I'd say there's 3 things here. First is I want more confidence in my financial stability. Second is I want optionality, and I want the ability to choose the type of work that I want to do, whether that's more YouTube videos, whether that's investing more in real estate, or whether that's doing something with manufacturing. I don't know, we'll see. And third, or lastly, is I think about long term and having a family and kids and that sort of thing. I want to make sure I'm in a financial position where I'm able to spend as much time as I can with that family. Step 2, living expenses. So running the numbers, I estimate or project I need roughly $45,000 to cover my living expenses in my ideal financially free lifestyle. And finally, step 3, the target savings number. So assuming $45,000 in living expenses and using the 4% rule, I'll need roughly $1,125,000 in savings to be financially free, to achieve financial freedom. And I've set the ambitious target of trying to hit this in the next 3 to 5 years. Now, that will require quite a bit of savings. I've estimated roughly, or using the compound interest calculator, I've estimated roughly $8,000 a month. But I have a few plans or a few things in place to help me achieve that, including investing quite heavily in real estate. So stay tuned and let's see if we can make it happen. Fantastic, gang. We made it through. A few quick takeaways before closing. 1, setting financial goals and writing them down is critical. It gives you a much higher chance of achieving your financial goals and achieving financial freedom. And 2, it makes you much happier and less stressed along the way. Second is we also outlined the 3 steps to setting top-notch financial goals. 1 is setting your priorities, setting the lifestyle you want. 2 is understanding the living expenses associated with that lifestyle. And 3 is identifying your savings number. With those 3 steps, you'll be able to set top-notch financial goals. I can't wait to hear what they are. This video is the second video in my 9-part series on personal finance, my crash course in personal finance. Tune in next week to learn more about budgeting, how to make killer budgets, and how to put those financial goals that you created in this video into action. Thank you again for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Hopefully it's not too much effort on your end, but it really does mean a lot to me. I really appreciate it. And lastly, since I'm trying to learn as much as I can from you all, please comment, and I'll be responding to every single comment on this video. Thank you, much love, and adios. Have a good one.